Okay, good evening everyone. Damien, do you want to get us kicked off, please? Luke.
Any job done? You said yesterday that the aim at the start of the campaign was to reach the last 16. You've done it. Presumably now the aim is to prove that you're more than worthy to be there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a massive achievement from us to get to the last 16. I think nothing was given to us at the start of this Champions League run that we've been on. I think I love the new format. I think it's a really, really good thing. I think you get to see individual teams and you then get to move on to another one. We've really enjoyed it, and then coming to the pressure games, the double header, I think we've navigated that really well, because it's a tough, I don't care who you play at this stage, it's a tough draw, and we did the majority of the work in the away game. But we've come through really well, and today we were able to rotate our squad to a degree, and with mixed success, I think. I don't think it was a great performance, but really pleased that we won.
Presumably there's another chapter to write in.
Yeah, well, I think that's the great thing now in our season. There's a positive feel that whoever we get in the next round will be an amazing tie for us. I believe that we can raise our game and compete with anybody. That's what we're going to have to do, whoever we get. But I just think it's a massive thing for us to give our season an extra boost to get through this knockout phase and then into the next one.
Thanks, Damien. We'll go to Luke, Kieran and Lee, please. Luke?
How difficult is it to get your players motivated and focused for a game like that where you're 6-1 up after the first leg?
Yeah, I'd say the players were really motivated. We did a lot of work yesterday and today to prepare the game. I think the problem we had today was going 2-0 up so early. It was almost a dangerous feeling for us that this game was dead, because we were really determined to try and win. I think you have to give Qarabag credit. They regrouped, they stabilised and made it difficult for us, played very low, restricted space, and we didn't, after going 2-0 up, I don't think we showed the urgency we needed to go and get more goals, and then we paid for that in the second half. After making some changes, we became disjointed and the game became too transitional for us. So there's a lot to reflect and improve on that performance, but the most important thing is we won the game.
One of the big talking points at the moment is Nick Bolton-Arda and this new deeper role. How do you feel that went this evening?
Yeah, I think it's probably the least he's affected the game in the time that he's played in that position. But I thought there were some really good bits, and amongst that, I think there was really, really limited in space. I think they defended very well in front of their back four. So a new challenge for him, something he's going to have to overcome. But I don't think it was Nick's necessarily his fault. I don't think the team functioned well after going 2-0 up and scoring two really good early goals. I thought we struggled to break them down.
Thank you. Kieran?
I think that's the mindset we have to have. We have to believe in ourselves. But I think we've seen the best of ourselves this year when we've gone into cup games and one-off games where we've been able to really rise to whatever challenge we've had in front of us. So I think we'll have to go in with that mindset again in whoever we get in the next round. I think the challenge for us is now returning back to the Premier League is to build some consistency in our performance, in our way of playing. I think we've had a really good run. I think today's the poorest performance we've had in the last group, but we've won 4 out of 5, so we have to keep perspective. But we've got some big games now, starting with Everton.
Thank you. Lee Ryder?
Julian came off and everyone came from the stand and enjoyed his passion that he wanted to stay on the pitch. Regardless, you're so far ahead. He was up for the challenge.
Yeah, Joey always plays with that passion. I think that's what makes him the player that he is. From my side, I'm trying to protect him and make sure that we're able to use him in the next game. He's had very limited football and he's such an important player. We need to keep him fit. So there was method behind what I was trying to do with him, as the same as Sven Botman. We need to try and keep these key players fit who haven't had a lot of football. So we need to build their robustness up. But I love the fact he doesn't want to come off. That's him in a nutshell, really. He's very passionate and wants to do well.
Thank you. Go to George, Craig and then Martin, please. George?
Hi, Eddie. A kind of related question. You chose Joelinton from the start and Dan Burn, both are booking away from suspension. You did rotate, but it was a very strong team selection. I know you talked a bit about this yesterday, but can you talk about why you did that and why you didn't change things even more?
Well, I had to play some players. I had to put 11 players out on the pitch, and with Malik's suspension, Dan had to play. because I wanted to give Lewis Hall a rest above anybody else. So it was really a case of just trying to select who we felt really needed it and who felt could get through the game. Now, thankfully, Dan and Joe didn't get booked, but I don't think you can go into the game with that sort of mindset. I think you've just got to play the game. We've got a really fragile squad at the moment. We've got a number of players that we're willing to get back as quickly as possible. I've got to say the lads that have played and have committed to every performance have been magnificent for us.
Just slightly similar to Luke's question, what do you learn from the game? I know there's jeopardy in this time, but I mean, realistically, there probably wasn't. What do you learn from a game like this, where there's sort of a lack of tension?
I think there's only a lack of tension because of how we played in that first leg. I mean, I saw Chelsea go to Qarabag and draw the game, and I thought it was a really even game. There was nothing in it. So I think you have to give us credit for winning when we win. We're well prepared to take criticism when we don't. So that wasn't an easy tie. I think we made it look that way with our professionalism. There's no easy games in it in any competition that we play.
Thank you. Craig?
Hi, I don't know if you'll commit to an answer either way on this, but given you have, in a way, reserved the best for the Champions League this season, it does seem to bring out something extra in certain players. What's your best chance of playing this competition next season? Is it winning this year's edition, or is it via the top 5 in the Champions League, in the Premier League?
You're right, I probably won't answer it because it's not something we're sort of thinking about. Of course, we want to be in Europe every season. The best way for us to get there is to try and win as many games as we can. Our Premier League form is, we're desperate to get that back on track. We need to get that back on track. We need to get in that feeling of winning regularly. That's the only thing that's going to help us when we return to the Champions League. This competition's an amazing thing for us this year, and you just never know what surprises football can bring you. We'll just attack everything and try and do our best.
Thank you. Martin?
Hi, Eddie. You've turned GS to cheers in 2.5 weeks. How have you done that?
I think we've just tried to go very much to basics and the fundamentals of our performance, and I think you could see that in the Tottenham game and then the Qarabag game, where we were really front foot, we were really good athletically. And I think when we're really good athletically, I think you can see then our quality comes out. And I didn't really feel that today, to be honest. I don't know whether the 2 early goals sort of took us away from where we needed to be, because we were a bit lethargic from that point onwards. But I think that's been at the fundamental part of our recovery. When I go to the Aston Villa game, really, really good athletically, really good intensity to everything that we asked the players to do. And, you know, we're scoring goals. We've just got to, I think, defend better. I think that's got to be at the back of our minds now to bring long-term success to this season.
And how much deeper do you want to go in this season's Champions League?
I've got to say that's a silly question, because we want to go as far as we can, and why not? I think we're good enough to do it. We can and we have raised our game. There's no denying that. At times this season, even in the Carabao Cup, I thought we produced some really good performances, sort of in the one-off games. The disappointment for us has been when we've returned to the Premier League and we're desperate for the consistency there. We haven't been able to do that, so we want to obviously find a remedy to that, but we want to continue to go far in this.
Thanks, Martin. Take a few more. We'll go to Scott, Dom, and finish with Mark, please.
I
Scott?
was just going to ask about Will. Eddie, we obviously saw on the start tonight, he had a big hand in the first goal, but it maybe feels still hard to see him starting regularly in the Premier League at the moment. Where do you think he's at in terms of his development, and can he get to that level where he's banging on your door and maybe, you know, making you think about playing ahead of Anthony or Johan or Nicholas?
Yeah, I think the challenge and the difficulty for Willie is one of another sort of small group of players that has probably suffered from an injury and then hasn't had the training time that he would need to get back to his very, very best. I mean, when Will's at his best, he's electric. I mean, he's so quick, strong, powerful. He's got all the tools. But he's had a very serious injury. He's been out for 13 weeks with an ankle problem. He's come back. He's had very limited training time because of the number of games we've had. We've had to have him available. And I think then you see tonight that he's probably not at his absolute best. And we need to try and help him get there. And I think he will. But as I said, he's not alone. There's a couple of other players in that position that we need to try and help get to their very best level.
Dominic?
No Jacob Ramsey today, Eddie. How is he, and could he be back involved again?
We hope so. We hope there's nothing serious. He's just felt his hamstring, an awareness of tightness in his hamstring. He had a scan and that came back all clear. So we're hopeful it'll be a quick improvement and he'll be back involved as hopefully for our next game. But let's wait and see.
Thank you. Mark, to finish, please.
I was just going to ask about Sandro, another goal tonight, really good performance. Do you feel he's really stepped up since Bruno's been injured? Is it? How has he done that?
Yeah, I mean, possibly I haven't really thought about sort of the reasons for him performing to a really good level, and I think he has. The last few games, I think he's been superb for us. And tonight, I can picture him recovering full length of the pitch. Unfortunately, the game did become transitional for us, and he was one of the players that was standout for us in terms of recovering and then putting the fire out, which I think is Sandro at his best, really. I think athletically, again, he's a player that is so good in those moments. Great to see him score. I think he can contribute, and obviously got the double at Villa. So, yeah, it's great to see him back. He's such a big player.
Thank you, everyone. See you on Friday.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thanks very much. Thanks a lot.